Today I'm speaking with Sarah Kuschel, a young farmer and rancher from Cass County, and she was down at the American Farm Bureau Federation's annual meeting down in Orlando, Florida this past week. Sarah, what was it like down in Orlando? And I know this isn't the first time you've been at the annual meeting. What were some of the highlights that you found?
Well, first of all, Orlando was a lot warmer than it was here in Minnesota when I got off the plane today. It was a great convention. We had 60 Minnesota Farm Bureau members that were able to go down and attend. Total attendance was over 7,000 Farm Bureau members from all 50 states and Puerto Rico, so really well-attended convention. Obviously, one of the highlights for Minnesota was bringing home the Excellence in Agriculture winner from Washington Ramsey County, Michael Miron, and that's one of the three young farmer and rancher contests that take place. So we also had Katie Miron participating in the discussion meet, and Benjamin Storm from Olmsted County did the Achievement Award. So Minnesota was greatly represented down there with those three participants, but very exciting that we get to bring home the Excellence in Agriculture winner for the second year in a row. So that will give Michael the opportunity when he gets home here to go pick out his truck, and he gets a Chevy truck for winning the contest.
Well, congratulations to him. And I know one of the big highlight is the election of a new president for the American Farm Bureau Federation. After 16 years, Bob Stallman is stepping down. Who is the new president for American Farm Bureau at the national level?
So actually, that is taking place at today's delegate session, and I didn't get to stay down there for that. We had to get back home to the ranch, so I don't even know that information yet. That'll take place sometime here this afternoon, and we just really thank Bob Stallman for his years of service to the American Farm Bureau.
And of course, Sarah, I know it's not all fun and games down there at the annual meeting. What were some of the issues that were covered in some of maybe the breakout sessions that you attended?
Sure. So unfortunately, I personally didn't get to attend very many breakout sessions this year with my husband Miles and I serving on the American Farm Bureau Young Farmer and Rancher Committee. Our job there is to actually host and run and facilitate all of these contests that take place. So that was really my focus this year, was making sure that we had the best of the best setups for all these contestants. It was really exciting this year. The final four of the discussion meet actually got to be hosted on the cultivation stage in the trade show. So we had probably close to 700 people who were able to watch the final four of our discussion meet. So that was really exciting and was a first for the program. But there was breakout sessions on running a social media campaign and helping advocate for agriculture that way, on how to prepare to go in and visit a classroom, which Miles and I, with the rest of our Young Farmer Committee, actually had the opportunity to go in to a classroom in St. Cloud, Florida, which was kind of funny since that's close to home for us here in Minnesota, and do an accurate ag book visit on peas was our topic this year.
Well, and you mentioned that you were facilitating a lot of those contests. What was it like? And maybe give us some highlights on some of the contestants that were competing. What's it look like for American agriculture in terms of the young farmers and ranchers that are sort of starting to carry the torch?
Sure. I can tell you that the people we had there participating in these contests, the future of agriculture is bright across the country. It's a group of individuals who are very passionate about what they do and just really strive to produce food for the world as efficiently as possible. And not only was there the great delegation of Farm Bureau members from across the country, but there were so many times that we were running into kids in those blue and gold FFA jackets and the green blazers of the 4-H ambassadors, and it's just really enlightening and encouraging to me to see the youth and the Young Farmer and Rancher program helping to train and shape the next leaders of our industry.
Well, and you mentioned the FFA jackets. Minnesota actually got to host the entire national FFA delegation. All the national officers, the president, secretary, and all the vice presidents were actually here in central Minnesota Friday night. And I'd have to say they were probably just as enthusiastic as you in regards to agriculture. I mean, the young people are definitely trying to push making agriculture more educational for folks that may not be involved.
Absolutely. That's one thing that today's consumer really wants to know, where their food came from and how it was raised, and the only way they're going to find that out is if there's a group of us willing to go out and share our story and help to bring that information to them. And I'm a firm believer that if I don't take the time to do that, someone else is going to try to go tell the story for me, and they usually won't tell the story accurately. So that's my responsibility as a Minnesota young farmer and rancher, to go out and share that story with those who want to know.
And you mentioned you spoke in a classroom in St. Cloud, Florida. What were the students' reception to the message that the Farm Bureau members were trying to educate them on?
The kids were so enthusiastic and so excited, and it was a really unique opportunity because we actually met with grades K through 4, so a really wide age group. And so each had their own little concerns and questions, but very good. We actually were at the only school in Osceola County that offers any kind of agriculture education at the middle school level. So that was really unique and a great opportunity to go in and help introduce those younger kids to some of the opportunities that they'll have as they start in the middle school, and just to show them what some of the options are to continue on in agriculture down the road.
And of course, Sarah, it's not all work down there when you're at the American Farm Bureau, and I know it probably felt like it was all work with all the stuff that you were helping facilitate. What was some of the sights and sounds that you got to enjoy in Florida while you were down there?
Sure. So today there's actually tours that are prepared for the convention attendees that the delegation who's down there are still attending. Miles and I actually had the opportunity to go down a day before the convention started, and one of the couples that serves on the American Farm Bureau Young Farmer and Rancher Committee with us lives in South Florida. So they picked us up, and we got to go tour some farms and ranches down there. They're dairy farmers. We got to see their dairy. I got to go to an alligator farm. So we did get to experience a little bit of Florida agriculture and see citrus production, and so there was lots of opportunities to see things that we don't get to do here. Me being a cattle rancher here in Minnesota, I never really thought of Florida as a cattle state, but I actually learned while we were down there that 7 of the top cattle ranches are located in Florida. So that was kind of enlightening to me. I never realized that.
Now, how much longer are you going to be serving on the committee for the American Farm Bureau Federation's Young Farmers and Ranchers?
So my appointment on the committee there actually will conclude at the end of our leadership conference that's coming up in Kansas City, the middle of February. So not much longer.
What has probably been the one thing that is, I don't want to say changed, but what is maybe the biggest highlight of your experience being on the Young Farmer and Rancher Committee for American Farm Bureau?
Probably one of the biggest highlights for me is just all of the personal connections we've been able to make with people across the country that have the same passion for agriculture as I do, and being able to hear how what's maybe a challenge in Minnesota isn't even a concern in another state, and vice versa. And so this has been really a unique opportunity to see how our grassroots organization really takes these concerns from counties across the U.S. and they move through the chain up to the delegate session at American Farm Bureau that's going on today. And this has been really a unique opportunity.
And do you see yourself maybe continuing in some capacity with American Farm Bureau? Do you aspire to be maybe a state president at some time?
Well, I guess I haven't really given that any thought. Right now my focus really is to finish up our term on the committee the best that we can and get back home and spend a little time with the cows, because they've been managed by others for the couple of years so that we could be away taking care of our responsibilities with the committee. And I do intend to continue to advocate for agriculture and go into classrooms and visit students who are passionate for agriculture, and we'll see where the road takes me, I guess.
And finally, Sarah, if anybody's maybe interested in joining Farm Bureau, finding out more information, where can they go?
They can actually check out our Farm Bureau website, which is www.fbur, bmn.org, and you can find out all kinds of information there. There's a spot you can click to sign up for membership if they're interested in that. And then, of course, there's the county farm bureaus all across Minnesota where they could get in touch with somebody who serves on the county board, and those individuals are always interested in finding new members to join our organization.
All right, and we've been speaking with Sarah Kuschel. She is a Cass County beef producer, and she's also a member of the American Farm Bureau and Farm Bureau Federation's Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee.